Hey guys, tightrope here, bringing you a 2v2 today. We're on Campbell's Convoy. And today spawning on the left, we have PutPut, AusarTheVile, and Dr. Jekyll. Both of these guys are top 10, obviously a ranged team. We've seen these guys a lot in my COH3 replays in the past. In fact, I've cast both of these teams in the last 2 weeks, I think, from their old COH2 replays, now in COH3. And on the right hand side, we've got VonManteuffel with Afrika Korps and Heartless Jäger with Wehrmacht. Armored support for VonManteuffel, not a huge surprise there. Luftwaffe though, from Heartless Jäger, going for an early drop down over to here. Bad routes for Dr. Jekyll, we've got Airborne, and PutPut is armored. So yeah, very high ranking. Both these are arranged teams and everybody top 10 with their respective factions, so should be a good one.
We have riflemen.
I think this might actually be maybe like the second game I've cast on this map as well. Most of my games so far have been on Torrente. So I'm excited for a bit more on this map. Got a crowd up here, as well as the Panzergrenz. Pathfinders from Dr. Jekyll. So he's gone for 2 of them into a machine gun and then a bazooka after seeing the crud, so that's interesting. Wants a bit of early anti-tank to help handle that. So that's making their way through the center. See, this is kind of a diagonal BP placement, so he's put some wire and there's sandbags behind it. Very efficient. Slowly getting picked apart from range. And looks like a interesting capping order, doing some back capping here after getting the cables. Looking to guaranteed boost up the resources for the rest of the game, leaving these points uncaptured.
Commander, we've lost a sector.
Seems to be a good option in these team games. Looks like a win in the north early on there from VonManteuffel. Hasn't been facing much opposition, and now a big flank coming in. MG's in some trouble.
One of our munitions points is being neutralized.
MG42 coming in from the other side, so this is looking a bit ugly for Dr. Jekyll. Has to get out of here. Tries to back away with this squad and able to hold on. That's the green light for, on the other side, PutPut to make some moves. Starting to attack. Not a lot of resistance down here. 2 machine guns popping out now, but should be able to cap up that side quite effectively in the meantime. Pathfinder's eventually getting forced away by overwhelming firepower through the center. Crud, meanwhile, has kept every point all the way down here, and an early resource cache from Heartless Jäger. I'm going to boost up the fuel. Dropping in some paratroopers right onto the high munitions in the north. Coming out to the side, Pathfinders and the bazooka. Thought for a second they were about to plant a mine, kind of looked like they were changing their posture. Bazooka's looking for an angle on the crud. Meanwhile, the 4x4 coming in from PutPut. Does big damage. And goes for the Vet 1 weapon drop option on the 4x4. And now trying to overwhelm this machine gun. Paratroopers outnumbered in the north at the moment, but the bazookas coming up here. They barely gained any veterancy. Here they go. Oh, only 1 bazooka connected. Crud in some trouble. No chase down though from the bazookas, trying to stay in range. And here comes a MG34 from VonManteuffel. Gets around behind the heavy cover, but I think eventually will lose this fight. Self-repair from the crud out the back. But Axis are getting a little bit cornered up in the north at the moment. 4x4 is shutting down the Kettenkrad from going back down the bottom. And here comes another paratrooper from Dr. Jekyll.
Infantry reporting in.
Got mechanized from PutPut. Nothing from Dr. Jekyll. Hasn't gone for the support center yet. Maybe a bit later than we typically see from a US player, but using those resources for more paratroopers instead. And the Axis are struggling quite a lot. They're under a lot of pressure at the moment, you know, going for the cables, a lot of non-combat units, and investing into the cash early on has left them a bit short-handed to fight back.
Support center upgrade incoming.
Look, see what... Okay, here comes the Jägers from VonManteuffel. He's also gone for the flak, so it's about to be a big power spike from the Axis. They got the 221 up here now as well, upgraded with the radio antenna.
Strategic point is being claimed. We can't stay here.
Got the mortar out, dropped down by PutPut already.
We've lost it.
Big damage from the flak. 221's going chasing after the 4x4 perhaps. The problem with the 221 at the moment, very low penetration, just one penetration at all ranges, so it's actually not very good at killing, you know, the 4x4 or the weasel, stuff like that. Could do with a tiny bit more penetration, I'd say. Flak, meanwhile, chasing down this unit in the north. Looks like a few obstacles in the way, gonna stop any further chase down. That was a bit of a lucky break, could have gone down there. 4x4 going out to do some harass, maybe looking for the kitten, but it's not over here. Doesn't, you know, he's got the other Vet 1, he can't do camping with that, so... Just going hunting, doesn't find his target though. Be a pretty good power spike.
The enemy have taken territory.
Axis regaining the north, but they're definitely behind in resources. Could lead to some early mediums from the Allies. Looks like it's air support from Dr. Jekyll. Good phosphorus rocket out there from the bazookas. Huge damage on the Fallschirmjäger. 4x4 has to get out though, the Jägers were closing in. Good strafe from Dr. Jekyll. Slows down the Afrika Korps advance. P-Greens popped their upgrade though. Oh, bazooka goes down. They do feel very squishy, those bazookas. I think the AT rifles, both of them connected, I would guess, from the amount of damage the squad took. But still the Axis struggling a little bit through the middle. VP situation is actually pretty even, however. It's interesting to note. Good mortar barrage. MG getting quite low. And here comes the Greyhound. Looking to capitalize on this slightly late retreat from the machine gun. Gets decrewed. Can something get up here to steal this? I didn't actually notice this, but the 221 went down. Flak trying to chip away at the Greyhound from range. 42 from Heartless Jäger here. Doesn't have the munitions for the phosphorus though. Oh, pops the AP rounds. VonManteuffel. Big damage. Greyhound's in some major trouble. But gives up the chase, maybe worried about a snare. You see PutPut doesn't have those. But don't want to take that risk. Pretty much have been the end of that that had taken a snare.
One of our sectors is now in enemy hands.
We're so low in health. Anyway, Jäger's with the Shreks from Heartless Jäger. Also gone for another Jäger following that up. VonManteuffel, only 2 Panzergreens.
Enemy forces have captured a victory point.
Interesting. Flak, meanwhile, doing some major damage. She's upgraded 1 squad with the bazookas. Try and combat this. The fact that that flak can fire on the move does make it quite potent. A respectable option. Of course, you... Is that a recon plane, I think, from Dr. Jekyll?
The sector's been overrun. It's theirs now.
Allies in control of the VP so for quite a long period now. It's about 100 points behind now.
You need weapons? We need coordinates.
VonManteuffel does not have grenades yet.
Territory lost.
Kessen capping in the north, finding every opportunity to make use of that. PutPut has also gone for the Chaffee. And he's going in hunting. Finds the flak out the back. It looks like it took some damage from the strafing run as well. Oh, nicely done. Pop the Seek and Destroy to assist with that. Maybe the Pathfinder's Flare providing some vision as well. Good coordination there from the allies. And the flak, which was a pretty major obstacle, has now been removed. Did find some time to come down to the bottom though, relieve the VP pressure at least. Looks like they're making use of his teammates' healing as well. Easier to do that in this game since it's just big AoE healing. You're not taxing, like 2 or 3 medic units. Much easier to share healing in this game. Salvaging the flak out the back. Did salvage the 221 earlier as well, I believe. Every drop of resources back. Greyhound comes to the bottom. Looks like it got a couple good shots in. Heartless Jägers on the run. But the Greyhound doesn't try to chase all the way to base. Oh wow, Dr. Jekyll's going for a bulldozer. First option from the tank depot. Bazooka's coming up here. Want to knock out the cache. But that's a treacherous retreat path. It looks like this squad's going to go down. Go for the satchel. That's for the kill, but I don't know. It seems like a pretty bad trade to me. Greyhound's up here, but so is a Panzer III. Quite a fast medium from VonManteuffel. I'm sure the resource boosting from the kitten and the cache did help out in that department.
P-47 airborne and ready.
In spite of maybe the slightly poor territory control from about 6 minutes onwards. Greyhound's out here chipping away. Panzer III's coming down for it. It's actually a second Greyhound. Didn't notice that from PutPut. But a big pushback over here. AT gun connecting with the Panzer III, however, and here comes the bulldozer. Got bars on the rifleman now of PutPut. He's actually picked up a 4th rifle squad as well. Bulldozer's doing nicely.
One of our strategic points is under attack.
Picked up by the AT gun, making good progress. Here comes a Brombeer in return from Heartless Jäger. Both teams looking to turn up the bleed.
One of our strategic points is under attack.
I'm guessing it's going to be a stall. No, he's gone for War Machine. Very
Territory point
interesting.
is no longer under our control.
And a tank deep. No, it's motor pool. Can be hard. These tech trees don't show up properly with the mod, replay mod. the Axis
The
are up
enemy
to.
has the advantage here.
Still just the Panzer III and the AT gun now for VonManteuffel.
Our enemy has the advantage. We
Heartless
must stop
Jäger
them.
does not have a wide assortment
Sector
here.
lost.
We have the upper hand.
Very
Keep
limited
pushing.
army. After turning over that machine gun, right?
You need a 30 cal. Complete. Target secured.
Here comes the Brumbier though. Rifleman getting out of there early on. Oh, this is it. Mine in the north.
Enemy forces are
Panzer
converging
III
on
wastes a shot going for this. If we'd gone for this, they're kind of clumped up against the cover.
front.
Could have been a squad wipe. Good shot in there from the dozer. The AT gun slow to spin around. In fact, he's dropped the planes down. VonManteuffel having to get out of there. It was the rocket strike actually this time.
Territory sector claimed by the enemy.
Vegas coming in from the side. Bit of suppression from the MG42. Shoving them down.
Point is being overrun.
Couple shots on the bulldozer though. Big infantry assault. They're trying to get around the side of the MG.
We have anti-tank crews.
Panzer III coming back in. Bulldozer getting low.
We've lost the sector.
Jaeger's in some trouble though. Ooh, bulldozer very low. T-gun having to pull back.
Seek and destroy
There
tactics
we
available.
go. Seek and destroy active.
Clearance to advance.
He's rolling in with the light vehicle armada. Greyhound's leading the way. Oh, but the anti-tank plane's coming down now from VonManteuffel. Oof. The Chaffee's circling, going for the Panzer III kill, needs one more shot. And gets it, trying to stay out of range of the Jaeger, getting the kill shot in return. Trying to stay out of the circle as well. So fast with that Chaffee, able to get away there. Could even find the 250 on his way home as well. Missing the first shot. The blocking here from the 250. Jaegers are still a little bit slow. Don't think they're going to get there in time to finish the job on the Chaffee. So a daring move from the Allies, but I'd say it paid off. 2 Greyhounds, which, you know, maybe losing some of their effectiveness at this phase of the game. Exchange for a Panzer III and a lot of munitions. He's actually gone for the recovery vehicle now. I mean, I think this is the only thing that he can recover at the moment, isn't it? I'm curious to see what he does with it. Maybe he's just going to use it for repairs, actually. Coming up to repair these Chaffies. Okay.
The boys will have grenades soon.
Big boom bear shot in.
A strategic point is being claimed. We've lost control of a sector.
And it's a full retreat in the north
We've got him.
from Dr. Jekyll.
Points are in our favor, Commander.
With the fresh Panzer III arriving, the Axis do have this resource cache on the point out the back here, and they're salvaging these tanks. How much population does that?
We've got the advantage.
6 Popcat for the recovery
Sector
vehicle, huh?
gone. We must take it back.
Missing a big shot there. T-gun rolling up for the Axis return fire. Axis are feeling the heat when it comes to VPs. They're in fact making some moves down the bottom with a fresh Panzer. Triple Chaffies from PutPut. Looking to line up some damage here. Bulldozer meanwhile getting very low. I think if that AT gun got one more shot on, maybe the Panzer III would have gone for a dive, but so it was too much of a risk. Here comes the strafe. Decent damage. They were healthy enough to survive it. Triple Chaffies find the Panzer. Going for a bit of a base inspection, but we've got 2 Jägers back here. But he's splitting his damage amongst all the Chaffies, a couple misses as well. And the Chaffies getting out of there after this. Pretty clean kill, I have to say. Oof. T-gun managing to dodge out of there, just surviving. Tricks coming down the hill though, not getting suppressed. Find the recovery vehicle. It'll take 3 shots to kill though from the Jägers. I don't think he's going to be able to complete that. Misses the second shot anyway. Seems like the Axis need to get a few mines down. Do they still have the Kitten? They do.
We are
Could
losing
plant some of those mines on it.
We have the lead.
Because at least this ability, Seek and Destroy, doesn't give immunity to engine crits like the Afrika one. Slightly sensible in that regard, so... Bring in the rocket strike. Just doing a bit of friendly fire really, easy dodge from the Panzer IIIs. Jägers do struggle against the double barrel rifleman. Got a fresh Hellcat out now from Dr. Jekyll.
Near a victory point. They only have 100 points, Commander.
VonManteuffel pretty close to another dose of planes. That could be the turning point from the Axis. Meanwhile, Heartless Jäger building another Jäger himself. Not quite there for a Panzer IV rebuild yet. Which I imagine is going to be the option. Bringing in the recon pass, spotting the Axis units. Axis need to do something and fast. 75 VPs now.
Germans down to 75 points. Say it again. 75 points.
Fuel in and back to base.
And that's the walking Stuka, I believe. Getting some solid hits. No D-Cruise or anything though. Double Panzer III's also looking to come down the hill. The Jäger's dropping some smoke. Paratroopers falling. The T-gun's a little bit further back at the moment. Bit of a traffic jam here for the Allies as well. The Hellcat missing its shot, and here come the planes from the Axis. Infantry rolling down the hill. An engineer died to the anti-tank planes there. Big damage on the Axis units as well. Hellcat went down. A T-gun getting overwhelmed.
We've lost the weapons here. All dead.
Brings in strafe over here. Easy dodge. The Chaffies are rolling in, but the planes are still up. They take huge damage. These planes are so good at tracking, even the very fast Chaffies can't avoid the damage. Managed to knock out the Brumbier though. Going in for the walking Stuka next. One more shot and that'll go down. Doesn't have any of the health bonuses. And again, no mines from the Axis. Comes back to bite them a bit. Oh, loses vision? No! It reveals itself again by shooting at the resource cache. And the pack able to finish the job. Spins around. 2 Greyhounds rolling up here. But the Shrek is there for a bit of assistance. The pack doesn't know what to do. Here come more and more Shreks and a fresh Panzer III. Greyhound's in some trouble. It needs to go on to hold fire here, try and disappear into the fog. Oh, briefly stopped there. Could try and recover this Hellcat back here.
A victory point is under attack. We must act.
That would be interesting.
Skytrain boys are eager to make their drop.
Trying to make some inroads down the bottom, but still enough defenses there to shut that down. Bulldozer coming through the center. Could recover that MG42. So a lot of decrew team weapons up here from the Allies. Here come a couple strafes. Recovery vehicle. 3 HP. Everything suppressed. The Jäger's coming downhill fast here. Big damage on the Hellcat. The Brumbia's coming in. The Bulldozer's actually very low in health as well. Maybe PutPut. Those big dives coming back to bite the Allies now. He just suffered so many losses. I think it was 3 Chaffies, 2 Greyhounds going down. And really came down to those Afrika Korps planes again, as they always are. So strong. Able to sneak down here. 12 points remain. Shut down the Allied VP pressure. And they've got control of the center now. We've got PutPut at 50. 38 for Dr. Jekyll. VonManteuffel 52 and Heartless Jäger 53. So actually not as big of a lead as I initially thought from the Axis, maybe about 40 pop cap. They are hanging around to kill these decrew team weapons though. Oh boy, this is trouble. AT gun up here with not enough support. Sitting up, packing up, sitting up. Oh, here come 2 Panzer IIIs now. Bringing in the strafe. Getting a decent amount of suppression. A bit of a dicey retreat from this rifle squad now as well.
Enemy activity near our munitions point. Sherman 105, ready for field.
Try to kill off these decrew weapons now. Fresh Hellcat coming up though. Could still get overwhelmed with the 2-on-1.
Territory lost.
Somehow doesn't have vision of this or something, I'm not sure. Doesn't get any damage in with the Hellcat. MG42 guard in the center. Allies trying to make something happen in the north, but that is also guarded by some Jägers and a machine gun, but the strafe might see to that. Does indeed. Allies back on the capture in the north. Axis got to get something going. They're sending the double Panzer IIIs up there, but it's fast capping. He's got the Pathfinders on. They've got a good capture rate bonus. Hellcat and a Sherman coming up here as well.
Defend our victory point.
Oh, tries to go in for the capture, but loses the kitten. But the Jägers with the smoke. They're on the neutralize now. Pathfinders falling. Oh, but here come the planes again in the north. 6 points remaining. The Axis going to stop it at 4 points. And now the Hellcat's in major trouble. Getting traffic jam action from the Bulldozer. Oh, it looks like this is going to go down. Oh! Survives 60 HP. Will he take one more pass though? He's out of the circle. No. Whew, you got to be breathing a sigh of relief as Dr. Jekyll. But 4 points remain for the Axis. That doesn't give them a lot of breathing room. In fact, the Jägers, the smoke eventually wore off and they got forced away down here. He's sending the Brumbier down, Heartless Jäger, to do something about that. A lot of repairs required. Easy 8 from PutPut. I didn't mention that, but eventually got to that stage on the tech. Using the recovery vehicle, which is vetted up. So it gets a bunch of repair rate and speed bonuses. Brumbier coming down. Managed to get the neutralized, but a quick kill from that Brumbier. Looks like the strafes killed off the machine gun guard in the center and the mass rifleman overwhelming this Jäger in the middle. Double Panzer IIIs coming down the road. Easy 8's healthy again though. Two Brumbiers actually, didn't notice that. Second one on the field for Heartless Jäger. Easy 8's going to shoot at that first. Gets his snare off, but this is just so much bleed on the rifleman in the center. Oh! So close to completing the capture. Wouldn't have mattered though, because Axis are capping in the bottom. In fact, he's going to steal back the, maybe? No? He's going to steal the machine gun, try guard that VP area. Hellcat and Easy 8 getting going. Bit of a vet advantage though for the Panzer IIIs. Hellcat does have bad moving accuracy as well. Relatively bad. Riflemen win in the south though so convincingly they actually get the squad wipe down there. And now the Allies trying to get something going in the north now. Axis doing everything they can. Needs to get in the circle though. Here he goes. Oh, Jaegers have actually got a bazooka as well, turning up the anti-tank potential. The MG's getting the suppression off. Double Panzer III's coming up here for the bulldozer. It's trying to get away, but these Panzer III's are very fast. The Hellcat's slow to rotate around as well. Here he comes now.
God damn it, recovery vehicle wrecked.
Yeah, you heard the announcer. Recovery vehicle goes down to the Jaeger Shreks. They're just making a very difficult force to overcome in the center. Good combination of anti-infantry from the Brummbärs and anti-tanks from the Jaeger Shreks.
Enemy won't let up. We're down to 250 points.
Okay, bouncing there as well. The Jaeger's sturdy front line. Allies really having trouble breaking through now. Looks like the recovery vehicle is trying to recover this Hellcat. Didn't quite work out.
We won't reinforce without your word.
Okay, sounds like PutPut's turned off reinforce. Maybe trying to stall up for another Easy 8. Just about there in terms of manpower.
Report! Our enemy is on
Okay,
250 points.
60 munitions away, but that's a crazy high munitions rate at the moment for the Axis, so he's going to be there in no time for another dose of
They
planes.
still have 250 points left.
Heartless
must
Jäger,
persevere.
meanwhile. There's another dose of planes himself.
Crowds are pushing us back. We're down to 250.
Second Easy 8's on the field now. Riflemen do still very well against these Jaegers whenever the Brummbärs aren't around. Two Hellcats now.
Rifles losing integrity.
They're not super long range though. So having trouble dealing damage and not taking any in return from the Jaegers. Here comes a walking Stuka. Oh, big damage. Two squads on death's door. A strafe coming in, doesn't hit too much. The double Hellcats going up to fight against the double Panzer III's. Easy 8's rolling through the center. Allies attacking back. 4 points, that's all they need. The Easy 8's doing big damage to the Jaeger. Axis must be close to another dose of those Afrika Korps planes at this stage. The Brummbärs are holding up well with their strong armor. Coming in with the Hellcats circling around behind the Brummbär. One Brummbär down. The Hellcats going around for the next one. Great move there from the Allies. Those planes have got to be coming in soon from VonManteuffel. He can drop them down now. He's got the munis. There they go. Oh, they go after the Easy 8s. The Hellcats getting away.
Transport loaded up and ready to make a pass.
Will they take another pass? I don't think they'll die even if they do. Even though they're out of the circle. One more pass. Not too bad. A lot of repairs required from the Allies. They did kill a lot from Heartless Jäger. Both of his Brummbär. All the machine guns decrewed as well. With the announcer, the Allies themselves under 200. Wow, one of those planes targeting still. Baker going in deep, hoping to find a wounded vehicle. Doesn't really want to take on a full health Easy 8 though. And without the Brumbears anymore,
Theirs now.
should be a lot more successful with the riflemen.
So much for peace and quiet.
Maybe the Allies can finally get the job done. 2 squads just constantly guarding the bottom from PutPut. Might need to bring one of those off the bottom and try and assist in the center. A lot of repairs still going on out the back. The mechanized support center providing some assistance. Both the Easy 8's pretty healthy, ready to rumble. Had no Afrika Korps planes for a bit longer. Are they off cooldown again already? What? Okay. I hope that's a bug, but maybe not. Maybe it's not. Okay, oh, the strafe. Too fast coming through, unable to dodge away. Here comes the walking Stuka though. Big damage on these double paras. Nearly knocks out the Pathfinders as well. A fresh Brumbear on the field. We've got an AT gun out the back from VonManteuffel. Oh, that Brumbear. What a shot. Here come the planes again. He's got the planes already. God. Oh, and they're just annihilating any nearby infantry as well. The double Panzer IIIs are rolling in. 1 Easy 8 down, just like that. They're going to come in for another pass as well. Oh, just so much manpower bleeds on top of the vehicle damage. Seems like they don't have like a target table adjustment, so they do less damage against infantry. That's interesting. Well, that just completely halted the momentum of the Allies. Can't believe the cooldown on them is so low. And with the Axis income like this, basically as soon as they're off cooldown, he's got the munis for it again. Crazy high munitions. 3-minute cooldown.
We're down to 200 points. A fuel point is being lost.
Tough for the Allies. They threw a lot into that push.
Down to 200 points.
Losing the Easy 8, very, very painful. Maybe PutPut could go for like another Chaffee or something. Brumbear coming down to the bottom. The Easy 8's heading that direction as well. Jäger's trying to go for the triple cap. Boom! Easy 8's coming down here, and Jäger's fast on the retreat. Saw what was coming. Just a Panzer III guarding in the north, and there's a wave of troops coming up this way. In fact, the entire army of Dr. Jekyll. 4 points. It doesn't take long. 2 layers of machine guns to overwhelm, but he's going to have the Strafe ready to go for it. That could make the difference. The Pathfinder's coming in. Strafe opening up. Doesn't quite clear off this machine gun somehow. Triple Panzers are already up here. And the paratroopers don't have any bazookas, and the planes are ready already. Is it actually a 3-minute cooldown? Doesn't feel like it. Bulldozer dead just like that. The AT gun's up here now as well. The second line of machine guns shutting down the attack. Oh, that's Heartless Jäger's planes. Ah, I was gonna say.
We're down to 200 points.
I was gonna say. Okay, I must have got those. They look the same, I guess, when we're on the Allies' perspective. Well, that completely shut down the Allies in the north. Looks like a rifle squad going down on retreat as well. It was a decent attempt, but a good rotation for VonManteuffel. I'm not sure exactly how he knew. Maybe it was the vehicle detection, since it has such long range. Saw that coming. He didn't go for the vehicle detection. He went for the salvage kits. Yeah, I'm not sure how he knew to rotate the other 2 Panzer IIIs to the north so early on. But it resulted in a strong hold.
We're losing it.
combining up with the planes.
Ammunition point is being attacked.
Does make you wonder if maybe the Allies should have gone for some anti-air with 2 loiters to contend with. Maybe the anti-air may be a little bit ineffective, but
One of our sectors is now in enemy hands.
still better than nothing.
Strategic point.
Just keep fighting. We're taking.
Hellcat's getting overwhelmed by the very quick Panzer IIIs. The paratroopers just not that impactful if they don't have weapon upgrades, and they get chopped to pieces by the Panzer IIIs on retreat.
Is on the line.
And it feels like with that the Allies just have nothing left.
Serious day. SOP, boys. Straight
Couple strafes in the north trying to open up some capture attempts. Paradropping in some squads, but the machine gun, 4 points. The paras are in here. The Panzer IIIs are coming up to the north. He's just chucking everything in here to jam the capture. The Allies going for the center now. Machine gun's there, but if he can decrew this machine gun, he's got some smoke out on the other one. They're going for the cap, the Allies. They're all in here, but it seems like the Panzers actually have the capping upgrades, so they can't cap. They get the neutralize off. Carnage in the middle. Allies, though, they lose their capping unit. They're getting back in there now, but now the Pyos are in there as well. They go down. These guys have to retreat. Hellcat dead out the back, but now all of the troops from VonManteuffel rolling back down the road and making a train going towards the Easy 8s, and they just get diced up by the planes.
Victory point is under enemy control.
And with that, that was a good last roll of the dice from the Allies.
By the enemy.
Multi-pronged attack, just about worked too, but good rotations from the Axis. The planes, of course, a big factor in that.
The enemy holds all victory points.
And a few of the Allied units not being in the capture circle as well. If all 3 of the assault engineers were in the center there, maybe they could have got the job done. Oh well, GG, what a match. Hell of a game. So close, but the Allies just couldn't quite close the show at the end there. Yeah, it was a close one. Very, very close. I think a couple of those trades from, I think it was PutPut, with like the Mass, Greyhound, Chaffee, the last time he attempted that, I think it was just too bad of a trade. Kind of set the Allies quite far back, and that's when the Axis started to make their comeback. And with their boosted up resources, they just always had one of those loiters ready to go anytime the Allies were getting anything going. And really just boxed the Allies off the VPs completely. 4 points for so long. It seemed like maybe 15 minutes or so at the end there. But they just couldn't get the job done. Got them neutralized multiple times, but couldn't drain any more. Well done. Good hold by the Axis as well. I think it was like smoke from the Jaegers down the bottom, on the bottom VP, that stopped them from losing the match. Very, very close call. But yeah, ultimately, those planes, man, those loiters, they do need a tuning down. And probably same story from the USF strafes from the Airborne Support Center. Once they're juiced up, they could probably also do with a slight nerf. Seems very, very hard to dodge them with support weapons with a pack up time. Yeah, great game. GG. Well, anyway, guys, a wrap on that. If you like a game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.